everybody, Noodle Thumb here. Today I've got this ASSA 700 with Christmas trees. This lock has Christmas tree pins, 4 of them, in chambers 1, 2, 4, and 6. Standard pinning for the ASSA 700 also includes anti-drill pins in 3 and 5, which are mostly standard, but they've got a little taper on the end. And then regular, a torpedo key pin and a regular standard driver in 7 also has a little taper on the end. So this first stage, what I'm doing is just trying to set pins 3, 5, and 7, which entails just kind of bouncing between those 3. I do give the others a little nudge, just on the premise that if they're on in the standard part of the pin, sometimes they can hold things up. But for the most part, it's 3, 5, and 7. There we go. So there's the false set. So 3, 5, and 7 are set. And now those Christmas trees in 1, 2, 4, and 6. The first stage of the Christmas tree, you sometimes, but not always, get that big counter rotation. See, 4 is not giving me that, nor is 6. So I can do one of 2 things. I can either start float picking from here, which I think is what I'll do. 6 seems to be binding the hardest, so I'll start with that. The other thing you can do is go back and test each of them. I know just from the depth of the pin in the keyway how low it sits, that 4 and 6 both do need to be set some. So testing would be more performative than anything right now. So I've set one more phase of each of those, and now I am going to test. You'll notice I didn't pick 2. Sometimes it seems like it just doesn't need it yet, but you'll notice I'm using a different pick to test. That's so I can test from the bottom of the keyway here, and you can see that core move when I hit the key pin, and that's because the gin is lodged in the milling. So 2, 3, you see how it doesn't really move? That's because it's already set. 4 looks like it might be set as well. 5 is standard. 6 doesn't seem to be binding either. So that either is set or it just needs, we got big movement on, especially pin 1, really 1 and 2 moved a lot more. So I'm going to do 2 first, and then 1. I can also, my pinky is right here on the back of the plug, also contacting the body of the lock, and I can feel the movement there as well. I dropped some pins while setting pin 2. It's probably 4 and 6 falling back out of the milling. I'm going to go ahead and try for 1 before going back to reset those. And we'll see where that gets me. Yep, so here's 4. And rather than writing the counter rotation, I'm tapping it and manually counter rotating. 6 just kind of plopped over on its own. Dropped 1. And see if I can set 1 all the way. Okay, that felt alright. Now, we're going to test. 1 is set. 2, not set. 3, 4 might be set. Hold on. 1, 2, 3 is standard. 4 feels set. 5 is standard. 6 feels real weird. I think that fell back down into the keyway. Yep. Okay. So 6 is all the way unset. Okay. And let's try 1 again. Hold on a minute. Sorry for that break. Let's see. I need to test. 1 seems fine. 2 needs to be set. So slowly just bring this back. And I'm tapping the key pin against the Christmas tree there. Trying to do it very gently and not drop anything. I'm not being particularly successful at that. Okay. Now retest. 1's fine. 2 is fine. Hit the wording a little bit there, that's why it bounced. 4 dropped. So 1, 2, 3, 4, yep. So just bouncing. And see if I can eke that tree above the milling without dropping other pins. So as I do this, I'm just moving the tensioner ever so slowly back. Tiny fractions of a millimeter at each bounce. Okay. I think 4 might still need to be set. 6 dropped back down again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 again. Okay, so I'm just bouncing from tree to tree, trying to set one without dropping others. Now, I didn't hear anything else drop there, so I'm hoping it's just 4 or 6, or that each of them needs a little nudge. Can't tell. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. 4 needs a nudge. So it might just be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So just very slowly bringing the tensioners back. I have this weird looking float contraption set up. It's just 2 tensioners with a little bit of strap held together. Strap holding together a couple of bolts and washers. The washers are there to keep the tensioners spread apart so that this tensioner is pushing that way, that one's pushing that way, and so I can precisely move the plug. Let's see. 2, 3. That's 4. I think still needs. Let me test 6 again. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, wait. Nope, I think 6 came down again. So I think 6 needs to be moved. And there we go. Now, last night I posted a thing on the Discord observing that I like picking a lot more than I like filming, which is why sometimes my filming sucks. This is one of those times because I forgot to bring my gutting tray. So I have ye oldie business card folded pinning tray. My apologies for my unprofessional behavior. bit for my grub screws. And I'm going to try gutting this in a little more methodical fashion than I tried yesterday. So starting from pin 7, let's see, tools out of the way, that there, okay. Yeah, so there's that standard. No, I am going to do the whole thing this way. All right. Okay, turn the plug back to where it'll let the key pins fall. So there's the torpedo key pin in 7. Yesterday, the first time I picked this lock fully pinned, I was recording the gut and I dropped one of the key pins entirely and it, shot out of frame and I said a bad word. So there's a Christmas tree pin. Torpedo key pin. Chamber 6. Grub screw. Spring. Okay. So the anti-drill pin. And the anti-drill key pin. My left hand is cramping up a little bit. So I hope I don't screw this up. Let me readjust it a little bit. This desk is an awkward height. I'm picking on my lunch break like a good picker does. So I'm not really as prepared or comfortable as usual. So a Christmas tree pin. Hope none of that was out of frame. I'll have to watch this back. Torpedo key pin. I'm going to be moderately upset if I went to all the work to bring most of my stuff and make this badass custom pinning tray in order to have an out of frame and not be able to use the video. I won't be upset about having to pick this lock again. I actually quite enjoy it. anti-drill pin in 3. And anti-drill key pin. Screw. Very special grub screw, I'm sure. And spring. And Christmas tree from 2. That one's a pretty long one. And torpedo key pin. Lonely grip screw. Doesn't want to let go. Last lonely spring. Alright. And Christmas tree pin. Torpedo key pin. Okay. Here's the core. You can just see the threads from grubbing. Nothing special about the core. There's the milling. And give it some flicks. So counter milling in 1, 2, smooth in 3 for the anti-drill, milling in 4, smooth in 5, milling in 6, smooth in 7. And on the other side, catch the light there. Counter milling in 1 and 2, smooth 3, milling 4, smooth 5, milling 6, and smooth 7. So there's that. And then since I have this floppy I don't know why my zoom is stuck on. It won't go at less than 2x zoom. That's a problem. Okay, I'm going to try to take my camera out of the holder. It's going to be exciting. There we go. For the pin close up. And there we go. Here we have the ASSA 700 4 Christmas tree pins. Y'all have a good one.